mate.
All right, mate. What's happening?
Assalamu alaikum.
Buongiorno.
Welcome back to Esports Wales. It's the Welsh Esports League Season 10. Yep, double digits, and we are well into the business end of things here. Playoffs in the Rocket League tournament are upon us. I'm Charlotte, joined by BlazyBard. And Blazy, we are here, we're ready, we're raring to go, and I just can't wait to jump into things here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm super excited. We got to see some of these teams that we're going to check in with today play a little bit last week. It's going to be a bit of a redemption arc, hopefully, for the GOATs, who did struggle a little bit last week, I think, based on what we wanted for them. We saw them going up against the Pit Ponies last week, and it was so far the only match that they have lost in their entire season so far. They want to get their redemption. They will have to make their way all the way up to the finals, but they're gonna have a lot of competition before getting there. There's a very stacked bracket here, Charlotte, that they've got to beat through.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at that Group A, like you say, Pit Ponies 7-0. The other side, their counterparts in the SEA Dragons, also unbeaten. I think one of the teams that's really more of the surprise package here is Nkwarai, which, I mean, is a bit of a surprise to me, and we were talking before the game as well. They kind of came in at the last minute, were as a result of that kind of seeded at the bottom, 16 out of 16 teams, and yet find themselves in third place in Group B, which is a very, very respectable position to find yourself in. So we now jump into this Premier elimination in what we call just like kind of the upper playoffs, as it were. And we have the Pit Ponies taking on EVH. We've got Rejects taking on RR. We've got Sea Dragons taking on Pirates. And then the game that we're going to be watching, like we say, is Goats taking on that Nkwarai side. So this is a really interesting matchup to me, because you have a team that everyone has the expectations on, I think, right, in the GOATs. We said that they maybe looked a bit disappointing last week, and that's even saying they went 6-1 in the group. So if that's a disappointment, that tells you the type of caliber that we're looking for here. And Nkwarai on the other side, as we get underway in this first game, very much the opposite, very much the unknown number, and very nearly opening us out with a goal, but it gets cleared away.
Yeah, really hungry for that recognition, really want to prove themselves in this tournament. And I'll clarify my statement. The GOATs did not walk away from last week looking disappointing. They just looked disappointing going up against the Pit Ponies. They really solidified this gap between the top of the table and second place as wide. Just like that goal, well, excellently on the mark, in fact, but saved by the players there of Inchawe, but it's not going to matter on the second attempt. Ellis finds the rebound and gets it in for one in 47 seconds.
Really smooth, really nice there from Goats as well. Just, I think, playing a bit distraction, and Nkwarai seems like overcommitting themselves forwards a little bit there. So this is where we really start to see the caliber of the Goats shining through. And leaving it here, Haydee, not quite able to get the right connection here, and it's Ellis with it again. Still Goats fighting their way forwards, able to get the juke, but still no connection found. It's a demo, but still Nkwarai clear.
It's such a high-pressure environment for both of these teams. Just one mistake could be the difference between them and dangling over the edge of elimination. There is plenty of game to play. There are a few opportunities, but you never want to be going 1 point down at any point. in a bracketed series. Zug is going to get the elimination here as the ball gets traded back and forth a little bit. Horizon gets some touches onto the ball, passes it over Ellis, but it's going to be a little bit wide.
Oh, that was so unbelievably close for Inquiry. Basically, a solo mission from Horizon. But now the pressure piling on from the Goats, pushing their way forwards, but still off the backboard, and it's returned.
Up into the sky, Ashen fast, dueling it out. It's going to be Ellis yet again. Goats have had such good control over this ball. But let's not discount Inchawe. They have really stepped up to the plate here and demonstrated exactly why, despite registering late, they have been able to make themselves a part of this top cut, right? They are definitely holding themselves pound for pound. With 3 minutes left on the clock, there's definitely an opportunity here for them to translate one of these opportunities into a goal.
Yeah, and still quite a lot of opportunities for really either side. It's a bit surprising we still find ourselves at this 1-0, but Ellis, well, might be looking to take that right out of my mouth, completely undefended, and just almost walks it into the net. But still, I mean, 107 kph, it's a pretty quick one, but still, Inquiry nowhere near it, caught unawares, and now find themselves 0-2 down.
This could be a bit of a tipping point here. The big question we need to ask ourselves, Charlotte, how good are these players at stealing their minds? Goats with the three-peat might put a solid dent into just about anyone's mental. How well are Inchawe going to do this?
Oh dear. That's not gone very well, has it? And again, it's Inquiry leaving themselves a bit weak at the back, committing these players forwards and getting punished. Goats seem to have their eye on the ball when it comes to that, but now Inquiry have an opportunity to go forwards. It's aerial, but still batted away fast. Zero danger there, and now going alone himself, looking to try and take it. Heidi, a crucial interception there, as the ball finds itself in the center of the field.
Just immaculate technical play on the flip reset there. You cannot fault the technical skill on this team. Haid demonstrates it perfectly, but they have to pull something back here. 2 minutes left to find a hat trick for themselves. Whether or not they can do it is going to be the question in the air. But I think if they can't, Charlotte, it's time to start thinking about what comes next and how they'll improve for game number 2.
Yeah, that really is the question. Let's not forget, it's not just this one and done. As Ellis goes again for another. Like you say, the technical ability on display. And now at 4-0, it really is looking towards game 2. This is a best of 5, so first team to 3 games will take the series and move on to that semi-finals. And really, in these best of 5s, even just losing this first map can really start to put you on that danger path. And right now, it feels like Goats really are looking to win this and seal it with quite the number.
Bashtun has been able to intercept mid-air. With a follow-up from Horizon, it will put Inchawe on the board, 4-1. A minute 30 left, Charlotte. If they can find one goal every 30 seconds of the rest of the game, they can even this out and take us to overtime. That's a big ask for a team that's just barely been able to find this opening.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, like we say, they've had their chances as well, but it's that conversion factor that has really been the key difference between these sides so far. Still pressure starting to pile on. Goat still doing a really good job of avoiding it, maybe getting a bit tangled. Communication a little bit sloppy perhaps, but still dealing with it effectively. Now fast sends it in towards the center. Horizon 50 against, and still gets it done. Ellis now trying to keep the ball alive and really seal the bag here. 1 minute left, that's 30 seconds gone, and Inquiry have not found the back of the net.
But they have been able to find a few more openings. Yes, Goats were ready for them this time around, but they're finding chances, they're finding places to get in. Nearly another aerial pass down from Ellis, made it into the goal. The Zerg is here to continue that pressure on Haid. Finally able to clear it away, but with only 38 seconds remaining, it is going to be a clincher for the Goats. They are out for blood today. This is truly, I think this is the best I've seen them play all season. Some of these technical plays, the way that this team are playing together so far has been immaculate.
Yeah, indeed. Looking really, really solid, and might just put a 5th one on the board. Not quite, as Haid does clear it away as the final countdown does start to appear for this game. It's one that Goats are going to be able to take cleanly. 4 goals for them, and Zerg now up in the air. Is he going to try and go for a 5th here? No, just goes down towards the ground. And that's first blood to the Goats. And really, as soon as that first goal came in, there wasn't really a contest. It
was upsetting there, I think. There was so many good opportunities, and you can tell the scoreboard almost doesn't reflect the difference in skill between these two teams, right?
Yeah.
So many great openers from Hade, from Horizon, from Fast, able to really dip in and out and find these spots. It's just that Goats are faster. They're recognizing the offense better. They're able to rotate back into a defensive position in a more responsive way. That's what's keeping Charlotte off guard, and I think it's just what is at the moment separating them. They just need to lock in that rotationary ability, and I think they'll have a lot more of a competitive game too.
Yeah, for sure. Again, Goats were really good at isolating those pockets and finding the gaps where, like we say, Inquiry had rotated away, had pushed up aggressively, and perhaps there's something to more tempering yourself, not quite going for it as hard when, yes, you are up against an opponent that we've been saying have been as impressive as the Goats. Sometimes, you just, it gets to you a little bit. You try and go a bit too aggressive, and they just need to calm that down a bit. Yeah,
sometimes it is all you need is to just take a breather. Esports is, it is literally the world of keeping your cool and not getting mentally psyched out. How well can this team do at stealing their mental and bring themselves back into this? It is all to play for still. Goats are 1 point up, but that does not mean the game is over.
No, reverse sweeps are still definitely possible. We're still a game away from that possibility yet, but still, it's a much cleaner start for Inquiry. They've been really applying the pressure right now as the ball gets sent towards the goal. Crucial touch there from Ellis to be able to get one and saves it again. He's been looking really, really nice all tournament long. And now he's gone for another shot in towards Fast. And it's another brilliant goal from the Goats.
How do you start a game in such a spectacular fashion 2 times in a row? Goats are here to show us. Nkawe, this is kind of going to be a bit of a turning point for them. If they can't recover from here, I'm afraid it might be a little bit of an ending. Sir, you cannot be putting away goals like that.
It's like we saw in game 1 as well. Inquiry, they have a lapse in concentration after a goal comes through, and it's 2 in quick succession for the Goats. We talk about stealing the mental. I feel like Goats are winning the mental game with that interaction. And again, now the deficit starts to build. 2 goals to the good are the Goats, and still looking to pile on the pressure and press that advantage forwards. Here comes Zerg flying in. Ash just about doing enough to take that away from him.
Up into the air it goes. Will be received by Ellis, who brings it up fast. Comes in on the right-hand side, but not quite able to confirm that into a goal just yet. Horizon dribbling it down. Ash tries to push a little bit further, but it will be parried off by Fast and Ellis here on the blue side of the map. Now returning through into an aggressive position for the Goats. It's all about finding some kind of momentum here, but Zerg just keeps stealing this ball away from them.
He's an absolute menace on the field. But now Horizon trying to get something done. Zerg again is the one to find the interception, and Ash just sends it straight into the path there of the Goats. Ellis down fast again. We've seen how well these two have been able to combine themselves. It's very nearly a chance, but Hades off the line sends it away.
Yeah, it's a beautiful return, and that's going to make all the difference. Only 2 goals up so far. Goats 3 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time for Nkawe to bring this game back, but they have to start confirming some more of these opportunities. They have to find the gap in the Goats' armor. How well that will come, whether or not it's going to require maybe some demolitions. Alice has already found 2 of them. That's going to clear so much space in the net, but the respawns come through just in time for Nkawe to recover. Ashdun brings it up the field, able to set it up. Can anyone confirm it? Not quite. A little bit too much hesitation from the boys in red.
Horizon just didn't quite have the boost there. Sends in another shot, but still off the upright there. And now sent downfield. Ellis doing a brilliant carry, and now in the hands of Fast. Looking to send it forwards. Ash, though, should be able to clear this one and does take out the 50-50 as well. Goats still, they are really on the high gears here, not letting Inquiry have any space, have any kind of momentum for themselves. Well, we have stayed at this 2-0 scoreline for quite a while. You feel like that it's never quite far away from being another goal. And now Inquiry looking to add one to their own tally.
You're absolutely right. The oppressive aggression from Goats has been palpable. In Kawe, even though they have had opportunities, it almost feels like they haven't really had a second to breathe from the amount of opportunities, the amount of shots that Goats have been able to take here. They need to try and find some space, and this gap on the right-hand side could be it. Zug goes around, it's wide, but it's going to be Ellis to clear it fast in the middle. Not quite able to confirm it off of Zug. They go a little high with a minute and a half left on the clock. It's going to be a tight one if Inkawe want to bring this game back. It's going to have to be now, and it's going to have to be quick.
Yeah, it was a golden opportunity there for a third from the Goats, but I mean, Inquiry again left themselves completely undefended, it feels like, as well. Goats have been doing such a good job at just stealing away all of the boost. The Horizon had plenty, went aerial just off the corner, still trying to go 1-2. Haiti puts it in. And now there's a little bit of danger in the mix here for the Goats. Inquiry just one goal behind, and they've still got a minute left to play.
There's blood in the water, but Goats often play well when there's a bit of a pinch. Whether or not this will light a bit of a fire and give them that opportunity to up the pressure and bring them home. But it's straight away on the break. Ash finds a gap and punts it in to even the score. And for the first time, Inkawe are neck and neck with the Goats.
I mean, there's a game on now. There certainly is a game on now. Inquiry, a brilliant kickoff. And like you say, now 2 goals apiece. This one is for anyone. And again, it's a good kickoff here from Inquiry. But now Elliot's trying to send it in. And fast, just as quickly as Inquiry were able to deal damage to them. Goats answer back. There's a response. And there's 3-2.
The blood and sweat that went into securing the 2 goals from Inkawe immediately answered back by the Goats in a move that looked almost effortless. Yet again, the break goes in favor of the red squad, but it's not going to stay in their side of the pitch for very long. Out comes Fast, looking to dribble it in. The ricochet's good, and Ellis gets a tap. No one is in position to fend it off, even though the whole team was right there.
It's just a masterclass in just finding the right gap. Oh, that beautiful redirect touch there. And, you know, again, potentially seals the deal. An absolute heartbreak. As we've seen 4 goals in like 30 seconds here. Before that, it was like 3 in 10. And now, I mean, that's certainly lit a fire for Inquiry. Look at this, they're pushing forwards. But again, this is where they've been vulnerable. This is where there's been danger for them. That is a demolition as well to try and continue to pile on that pressure. Inquiry doing a good job of getting it away. Fast, though, comes flying in. We're not out of the woods just yet. There's still plenty. And as we start to see the 10-second timer start to tick down, it feels like this is going to be it for game number 2. Goats, they've just about held on here, and even looking to try and find a 5th. It touches down just short of the goal line, but it does not matter. The second game also goes to the Goats, and now they're 1 away from a potential sweep here in the quarterfinals.
It's so upsetting, right? Because this team is not bad. They're not playing poorly.
No, they're
Goats
not.
are just on another caliber of play. This is a squad that is... I mean, I cannot even mentally calculate the geometry these players are acting out in real time to secure some of these aerial passes into secure goals is mental. I am very worried now for Inkawe's position. They are really going to have to fight through that mental strain, that wear and tear, if you will, and try and bring it back. They've been kind of manhandled the first 2 games here, Charlotte, and even though there was a little ray of hope there, how must it feel to finally even the score just to get slapped down twice?
Yeah, like you say, there was that little ray of hope, but immediately overcast by the clouds of Goats. And at that point, it feels even worse. I feel like, just to, like you say, they had that good start. They were in the game and immediately battered out of it again. So there has to be a recollection here. There has to be a way back in. Mentally, I mean, it feels so difficult to do, but they're going to have to do it as we get into the third and potentially final game. Goats on match point here, 2-0. Remember, in a best of 5, just one game away from taking this cleanly and looking to get off to a good start again. Zerg fast, just about off the line from Ash, but still there's pressure and there's danger.
Well, this is still a break-in trend. If Inkawe can just hold on a little bit longer, they can prevent the same thing that Goats have done every single game this series. And it will be just about enough. 40 seconds has been the quickest goal we've seen from the Goats, and that has already been broken. This could be the breathing space that Inkawe need, just not to get behind early. If they can stay in this and not let Goats' aggression overwhelm them, they can maybe bring something back, but it's going to be such an uphill climb.
That's the demo, trying to fight on forward. Ash does a good job there, but still batted away. And now Ellis, starting to try and get something done for them. The start of this game, it was quite suffocating, really. Inquiry, though, have finally started to get out of that oppression and find some momentum of their own. They might even get the opener here, but it's off the bar. And Ash just can't quite convert the second shot. Again, the boost just about running out. There's another one from Ash, but Goats have been able to stem the tide, and now the net's open.
Oh, it's such a high commitment from Inkawe. Now they're scrambling to get back to their nets. Barely had any time to pick up some boost on their way back, and that could be an opportunity Goats to take advantage of. It looks like for now they're able to recover, but with punts like that, Fast really knocking it to the other side of the pitch. Zerg is in a great position here, just about though. Horizon able to get to it first, but the ball is hanging dangerously in the air. Ash finally responds with a touch of his own, and Hade makes a bit of a play for it, but Alice is right there waiting to receive.
Straight back towards Horizon, though, still controlled, and dribbles past Ellis into a central position that's overloaded with cars, and still the ball now just dribbling away. And yet again, it feels like Goats have been able to really expertly deal with this pressure. Hade, Ash trying to set it in! And that's the start that Inquiry were looking for. They've taken first blood here for the first time in the series.
It's amazing, but it was such a scrappy goal. Goats were gathered around, trying desperately to fend this off. It didn't feel characteristic of them at all. They didn't have that same weave that they normally do. And then Kawe were able to expertly take advantage of that. Now, yet again, under pressure, the Goats in a bit of an odd one. Zerg goes down to the demolition. There's Ashdoon coming in to try and secure it, but it's actually off the mark. Not quite able to grab it. Now Ellis dribbles down the pitch with the ball, and it's just straight in. What just happened?
That's such a crucial demolition there on towards Hade. Not able to respawn in time, and none of these other players in a position to get back. Again, that sort of defenselessness has been exploited here by the Goats, and an expert demo to really seal the deal on that one. Now it's 1-1, and Goats, they're starting to feel themselves again. They're starting to put the ball into such a dangerous position. Here comes Fast, but Hade just about there to send it clear. Now going forwards themselves. The ball
not
bounces,
falling,
but can't get it.
Not falling for the fake that time around. Hade in a great position. Horizon is here too. That's going to take the entire combined forces of the Goats to keep that ball out of the net. Now Fast trying to gain some ground, bringing it forward. There's a touch, and the backflip sends it perfectly online. Horizon is able to receive it and take it back out, but how do you calculate that kind of an angle in real time?
It's some very quick mental arithmetic and geometry as well. And now Goats continuing going forwards. Here's Zerg. Hade deals with that, but Fast sends it back towards the center, back towards a dangerous position. Ellis, at the very least, is able to get a shot out, but met immediately by Ash. Now Inquiry have control again, looking to send it forwards down this left-hand side into the corner. Ellis clears the danger.
Back into the neutral game here. It's 1-1. 1 minute left standing, but Ellis has been able to confirm so many of these. Ash denies the attempt there, trying to turn left. Ellis not quite able to outsmart his counterpart. Now trying to retreat back to the net. It's going to be all to play for, and Kawe has an opportunity on goal here, but it's going to be missed. No one is there to secure it. Ash does cancel out some of the aggression from Goats and is able to yet again rebound this backwards. But it's going to finally find its way to Ellis. The ball in such a dangerous spot. Fast, not able to confirm, and it's just a tumble as everyone is scrambling to try and find some form of position.
The ball feels like it's got a mind of its own right now. Alice rushing on in to try and convert on Zerg's cross, but doesn't quite get there. Inquiry still in trouble as the ball starts to make its way forwards into the blue half, quickly met by Zerg. Everyone trying to get onto this ball. There's 5 seconds remaining. This one looks set for OT. And as we see something absolutely special now. Ellis tries to send it forwards. Fast now in the air, but the ball touches ground. And we head to overtime.
It is a nail-biter. Who could have seen this coming from the first 2 games? The Goats seemed so expertly poised to clean sweep this. But Inkawe do not want to go quietly into that good night. Goats are really going to have to work for it. Ash is poised to put it in, but Ellis is there to stand Bastion. Fast now on the right-hand side. Gets a decent angle in. The ricochet off the back wall, off the top. Pass it forward into the center. Ellis is going to be there to try and catch it, but now it's up in the air. This could still go either way.
Fast trying to send it in all by themselves. Doesn't quite get it. Horizon demoed out of the action, at least for the moment. That could be a pivotal factor. But Inquiry able to clear. Suddenly a bit of breathing room opening up in this overtime. Remember, if Goats score here, if Goats score here, then it's all done and dusted. Ellis from so far away just sends it down. Horizon and Ash just unable to get anything done. Hade even trying to deal something away from that, but the damage is done. 3-0, a clean sweep in the harshest of ways.
And you can just tell the quality of players here, Charlotte. I mean, big shout out to Inkawe, who I really want to highlight for everyone. This is a team that came in late. There is no reason they should have been here at all. And while the first 2 games may have looked like they really got away from them, game number 3 seemed so close. They really made Goats work for that. And just one more goal at any point would have brought this to a game 4. I could not express how competitive this set was. And you would not be able to tell that looking at the slash line.
No, you really wouldn't. You see a 3-0, and yeah, sure, in overtime, but again, it was like, what, 4-1 in the first game, 4-2 in the second. You think, yeah, Inquiry got quite comprehensively, they got quite comprehensively beaten there, but yeah, like you say, it doesn't quite tell the full story where those games were close. That was, especially in the third, an absolute nail-biter, and yeah, such a cruel way to go out. Like, you know, Lady Luck, she's a fickle mistress, and they have just felt the brunt of that.
I think it's just a position, unfortunately, Charlotte, where even though these 2 teams were close, they're close in the same way that Goats and Pit Ponies were close last week. This is still a team that is a cut above the rest. The Goats have been working towards this for such a long time. And I think this is something commendable for Inkawe. They can now take what they've learned, go away, improve themselves, ready for next season, where I think they could be a top table threat. But for now, it is going to be the Goats progressing. We'll have to see how the rest of the tournament plays out for them.
Yeah, we absolutely will. When we do get to the semi-finals, let's not forget that the semi-finals is also happening today. We are going to follow the Goats into that match. They are playing against the winner of SEA Dragons and Pirates later on. A score update as well. It looks like Ponies did win 3-0 against Evolving Hatchlings, so that game in the sort of upper portion of the bracket has also concluded. But while we wait for the rest of these quarterfinals to go, we're going to send it to a break, and when we come back, that semi-final match involving the Goats will be on your screens, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. We told you it wouldn't be long. I'm still Charlotte, still joined by BlazyBard, and
I'm still BlazyBard.
Yeah, there we go. We've got the semi-finals up for you now, and just a little bit of an update. SEA Dragons beat Pirates 3-0, so now they are the GOAT's next opponents in this matchup. But they still were in different groups, so we're yet to see that kind of rematch coming through. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this one? Obviously, we've seen a lot of SEA Dragons throughout the past couple of weeks, and they're looking very, very strong with Tadpole at the helm.
Yeah, I mean, this is a squad that doesn't need an introduction, right? The SEA Dragons are prolific winners of the Welsh Esports League. They, I think, have more wins than any other org put together. And I would go so far as even to posit that's across games, not just in Rocket League itself. So this is going to be a really tough nut for the GOATs to crack. They played with these players before, they played against these players before in other seasons. Whether this version of GOATs can beat this version of the SEA Dragons is going to be the big question. Tadpole is obviously the one to look at. Ellis on the other side, I think, is going to be a big focus for us tonight as well. Charlotte, we have just about started the bracket, and we are literally looking at what could be the best game of the entire series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is such a exciting prospect as we get underway. SEA Dragons in the blue and GOATs in the red, of course. And now, immediately coming in, Tadpole on the ball, looking to send it in towards that goal zone, but dealt with. Zerg sent it away, and still this pressure being applied by Taz.
Yeah, this is interesting. GOATs are a very emotional team. They play at their best when they're on a high streak. And right there is the exact demonstration. Charlotte, we just watched them do this against a team that, you know, is a good squad, but we can agree is not at this same caliber. They've just made SEA Dragons look a cut below them when they've got one of the best players in the UK on their squad.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. And again, GOATs have done a fantastic job of punishing those over-rotations and that over-aggression. So for SEA Dragons, we need to see them really shore up at the back if they want to avoid a similar fate to what we have seen. Now it's fast to look and try and get themselves in towards that goal area. But now Tad looking to send themselves forward again.
Yeah, but it's going to be taken away by Ellis. Stella is here on the left-hand wing. And it's going to be a bit of a competition between the SEA Dragons and GOATs here on the right-hand side as Ellis takes it away. I keep referring to them as left and right. It should work more like a ship because we keep swapping sides. The port and starboard side, if you will. Still a bit of a brawl. Both of these teams really want this ball, but neither of them can really get much possession, even with an opportunity like that. There's just too many dragons here waiting to catch it.
Yeah, just parking the bus at that point. 3 players sat on the goal line. Not much of a chance for GOATs to sneak that one through. Certainly would have been a miracle. But now they're going forwards again.
Oh my goodness.
And Ellis sends the dink over. I mean, that is such a neat little goal to just get that little touch. Absolutely does sell us. Dash can't get there. And it's a 2-0 lead within the first roughly 90 seconds.
I don't know if that just took Dash off guard or something. He almost seemed way too slow to react for what we know about this play. It must have been a complete surprise that GOATs were able to get that touch off and send it in such a way that it went in. But this is such a great position. I mentioned before, GOATs are an emotional team. If they go off to a streak, they are going to bring the fireworks, and that is what we are seeing right now from a team riding so high off their last game, and they might just make it a hat trick, but Dash just about there to make sure that doesn't go in.
It's certainly playing with fire, you feel like, here for SEA Dragons. Now Sellers trying to have to rush on back, but it's not gonna matter. Ellis sends in another goal. And we're not even halfway through this first game. GOATs are up 3-0.
What an incredible start to this series. I'm almost feeling like I need to eat my words. This is not the caliber of play we expect from the team that has gone undefeated all season in Group B. The SEA Dragons are truly a team capable of greatness, but right now the GOATs are making them look like the ranked lobby scrubs you walk on your way to practice.
Yeah, not really looking so much as SEA Dragons, more like Dragon Eggs at this point.
SEA Worms.
SEA Worms still sent in. At least there's some consolation for them and a way back into things as Dash does enough. And again, the overcommitment here from GOATs this time is punished.
It's a little bit of a, maybe an overconfidence play from GOATs. They are definitely feeling themselves, but when that starts to go too much the opposite direction, they start to get sloppy, they start leaving opportunities like that, because that was not a necessarily mechanically defiant goal. That was a pretty cut and dry, I tap it in. The GOATs just didn't have a good response. Goes a little high for Zerg to really get much confirmation there. SEA Dragons dribbling it back down the pitch. Stella's able to find a little bit of space here, but Fast is right there to cut him off.
See, the pressure is starting to up now on this GOATs back line. It feels like maybe SEA Dragons, they've opened the door now. They can start to get themselves back into this game, but sent down field. Fast trying to get something on it. Doesn't quite get the touch, and Sellers now clears Tadpole on the ball over one, but still Fast is there on the backboard to collect. There's been a lot of half chances here for SEA Dragons, but no real breakthrough. Nothing on the caliber that we've seen from the GOATs, and now they are the ones on the front foot.
1 minute left, and the SEA Dragons need to find 2 goals in that time to even bring this to overtime. But it looks like... What? What even was that? No one was reacting! The ball just rolled in!
That was... That's such a silly moment, especially as one of the GOATs players got demoed just before that as well, I think. I was thinking, okay, we're going to go round again, but now SEA Dragons have to overcome 3-goal deficit. I mean, it certainly feels like GOATs, they're starting where they left off, which is with a very, very clean game so far. Yet to drop one in these playoffs, and it feels like they're just styling on it at this point. A 5th goal goes in.
What is going on? This is not what we were expecting to happen. The SEA Dragons are falling apart at the seams, and the GOATs are set. They did not like being made to look the fool last week, and they are not happy with their only loss of the season being to the Pit Ponies. They will not stop, they will not bleed until the Pit Ponies are the ones crumbling in the finals. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, GOATs take 1 step closer to making that a reality.
I mean, it certainly feels like there's not much of a chance for SEA Dragons, and with that goal from Fast, perhaps the most stylish of them all. Look at this, 360 in the air and a flip as well. I mean, that is just... it's showboating to the highest order, but GOATs have been looking so damn nice in this game, number 1.
And again, you know, I keep coming back to this phrase, they're an emotional team, right? We saw GOATs get behind last week against the Pit Ponies, and they crumbled. Their teamwork went away. Their ability diminished. They started playing so scrappy and uncoordinated, but this is a team now playing at the height of their power, riding high from a game that, you know, wasn't necessarily the hardest for them to win, but definitely wasn't a cakewalk. Now the SEA Dragons, on the flip side of that, they walked into this, I don't know if they were expecting a really easy win, or if maybe they just haven't woken up yet. Maybe playing the Pirates first lulled them into a false sense of security. Whatever it is, they have to get their heads on straight for Game 2.
They absolutely do, but like you're saying, we've seen the GOATs. If they start to falter, that can be the end of things. Maybe all SEA Dragons need is just that one game, and as soon as they're in the door, that's it. The floodgates are open, and when it rains, it pours. That's obviously all speculation, because right now, I mean, it was certainly pouring in that one for the GOATs. 6-1 they took that first game. I mean, That's an unreal performance to start the series.
And I want to highlight, I think the SEA Dragons have dropped maybe one game the entire rest of the season. So if I'll confirm that and get back to you. Yeah, no, they lost one singular game against Nkawe last week. But other than that, they have not lost a single game the entire season. So this is the second loss overall for the SEA Dragons. They've not dropped a set. And if we can see 2 more wins out of the GOATs, they're going to put that on its head. And I think cause the lowest placement for an SEA Dragons team in, I don't even know how long.
Yeah, it would be that sort of rewriting of the history books. Like you say, undefeated so far. This is still a best of 5, so first to 3 games wins, and GOATs have their first step on that journey. But right now, SEA Dragons fired up. Not happy with that Game 1 performance. Already finding a goal, and Tadpole puts them ahead in the first 15 seconds.
Not happy with their performance in season game number 1. Talking too much about the seasons. SEAsons, if you will. They have fired back strong. You will not? Okay, that's fair enough. Up into the sky goes Dash. He wants a confirmation fast. Not going to let him have it, though, but this is the kind of energy we were missing from SEA Dragons last game. If they could confirm a second one straight away, that would be something. But it's not on the cards just yet.
That was so close from Sellers. Nearly got that double tap in. Dash has been dealt with fast, trying to get it in. And Ellis, again, is that power player, really, for this GOATs team. Let's not overlook the contributions of the teammates' assist from Fast there too, but just the redirection sends it past, and as quickly as we found ourselves in that 1-0, we're back 1-1, all tied even. I mean, this is the absolute bloodbath that we wanted to see. This is such a close-knit game at the minute.
Yeah, for sure. This is the game we were promised in the title. Right now, both of these teams are playing. I don't know if they're playing lights out or if they're playing terribly, but whatever it is, keep it up.
Just that little redirection there, and no one able to get to it. We've seen 3 goals in 1 minute. The first minute, in fact, of this game number 2. If there's any indication that these teams are hungry for this win, I think that's it. And already, Tadpole trying to send it in towards the center. Now 3 players heading forwards for the GOATs. And now Sellers has an open sight on goal. And it's another 15 seconds, another one for SEA Dragons.
And they need to keep this momentum up if they don't want to dangle on the cliff of match point. The GOATs, this could be a really bad situation, Charlotte. If they can't steel themselves and keep that mental game strong, this could be a really rocky series for this squad. They came in so high, and now they are kind of starting to look a little bit rough. 2 points behind, but with another tap in right there. Zerg will in fact prove that they are a great setup man. It is in fact fast. I won't take it away from him to confirm this one.
I mean, you can't write it. You absolutely cannot write it. That's another 30 seconds, another 2 goals in this game. I mean, like you say, this is lights out performance from both of these sides. Now Ellis trying to send it forwards. Dash deals with it, clears away, but still the ball very much in the blue side of the map for now. As Tadpole starting to find a little bit of breathing room. Aerial Ellis takes it away from them, and Dash is there in the way. Zerg sends it forwards and off the line from Sellers. We've reached, I think, the longest period without a goal so far, but it's getting sent towards that red goal. Fast just about gets it away, and now Ellis towards that blue goal, but can't quite land it.
And we just see such a beautiful string of technical plays from both of these sides, passing it back and forth as GOATs make that last attempt there. Now, finally bring it back to neutral. Sellers just about blocked by Ellis, able to rise just high enough to redirect that ball off the goal, but now Goats are in a bit of a precarious situation. They keep coming so far forward, they're leaving these gaps in the goal, and they keep getting exploited. They keep having to panic run back. Now Tad in a commanding spot, able to bring some rotations around the corner. Ellis predicts it perfectly and stands Bastion to knock it away.
Tadpole in that forward position. Sellers now off the backboard. Can Dash get there? Absolutely can. It might just trickle in. It's a 4th goal for the SEA Dragons. Starting to put some daylight now between them and the Goats behind.
It was a slow goal, but the Goats just too far to react properly. And with that, if Goats can't answer back in a similar fashion very soon, Sellers a very rare miss off the mark. I don't know if he was trying to fake for the rest of his team, but something happened. What could have been a guaranteed goal does not get confirmed. Now Zerg passes it off to Fast, bounces off the wall. Another touch should be good for it, but the combined might of the Dragons yet again setting up a solid shield and blocks it. Fast here trying to stop another goal. They can't let this gap grow any wider as the Goats only have a minute and a half to find 2. One might be on the board, but Sellers keeps it away.
Now pushing forwards himself, Fast has to try and dash back, takes away that boost, but now meets Tadpole in the air. That ball is sent flying over into no man's land, but Sea Dragons have control. They have the ball so far forwards, but committing 3 players forwards themselves, it's risky. Still able to keep possession, but now it's sent the other way, and Dash has to send the ball flying to keep them clear. Oh my god, there's 3 demolitions as well, Blazy.
Car parts are flying everywhere. There's a wheel in my soup, and Sellers has found another game in the back of the net. Another game, another goal. Whatever you want to call it, the SEA Dragons confirm it, and with 58 seconds left on the board, if any team can do it, it's going to be the Goats, but the SEA Dragons have woken up, Charlotte. This is not the same team we saw in game number 1. They've recalibrated, they've readjusted, they've locked in on Goats' weaknesses, and now they are exploiting them for their own gain.
They are, and this is where we start to see potentially the cracks start to form, in the side of Goats. As again, as soon as they start to go behind, that could be where the problems lie. As for now, though, still a slim chance, but a chance on the left to bring things back. Dash goes for the swing there and tries to take it Fast, very nearly, completely by themselves, getting the ball in, but it's Zerg instead to, at the very least, send a lifeline for the Goats. They're now just 2 goals behind, but only 26 seconds to try and leverage that comeback into overtime.
It was a hard-fought goal, but with 30 seconds left on the clock, it might be a little too late. Goats trailing by 2. Need to get something immediately off this kickoff line, but aren't able to confirm anything. The ball goes neutral, and Sellers actually takes it into the air, dances around beautifully, but it's not going to confirm. Zerg able to knock that one away, and Charlotte with 10 seconds left on the clock. Goats are going to drop game number 2, and the SEA Dragons will tie us 1-1.
I mean, this has been such an incredible game. It's the type of series that we wanted to see. So damn electric, so damn good, as the ball has stayed aerial for quite some time. SEA Dragons may be looking to find a 6th goal, but as it does touch down, SEA Dragons with a 5-star performance here in game 2. What a win from them, and they are back in this series, Blazy.
Yeah, like night and day. Game 2 just felt different. I think I was probably roughly accurate by saying that I think the SEA Dragons weren't quite expecting the level of performance from Goats. They came in strong from their match in the first round, and I don't know, maybe they got complacent, maybe they were tired, maybe they just needed a bit of a recharge. Game 1 acted as that buffer, and they were able to come back strong in game number 2. Now, this is where we can start talking about the level of skill difference, because these two teams are nearly identical in their powers. But when you talk about mental skill, Charlotte, I think that's where we're going to start to see the gap widening in these two teams, because right now, there is one of 2 things that is about to happen. The Goats are about to fire back hot, fast, and angry, or they are going to crumble entirely.
Yeah, or we could see a very close game that they don't quite win out, but looking to get themselves in with a good start. Ellis sends that ball in, and now SEA Dragons, they're the ones on the approach. Ellis just can't quite get to the bouncing ball. Dash sends it skyward, sends it back towards goal, and now Ellis has control for the Goats.
Over to the sky it goes, and Sellers gets a good beat off onto Fast. The potential tap could have been good there for Tad, but too strong is the defender. Ellis able to keep that one out for now, passing in front of the goal, and the SEA Dragons are playing keep away right now. The Goats aren't allowed to touch this ball, but Zerg breaks the rules. Dash on the ground finds an opening, but 2 players from Goats are there to defend.
Yeah, for the Goats, just making sure that they can shore themselves up defensively, and they have 2 players in the way there this time around. Still, though, having to dribble out of a lot of pressure here. Sellers now continue to go in. The demolition sets it up as Dash sends the ball in, and SEA Dragons take the lead.
Fast just not able to commit. I'm not sure if he didn't have any boost or if he just was trying to wait to see what the play was going to be from the SEA Dragons, but the demo confirms it. And now, with a very neutral early, Sellers has to come in to pinball off the ball. Goes back into Goats territory, but this could be devastating if they didn't get a goal straight away back. The Goats, they are not willing to set this game off to a bad tone. They're going to bring it back to even and put themselves back in the running.
Straight down the center, a beautiful finish. This is feeling a lot more like Game 2 than Game 1. We are still seeing that close, packed action. It's a tight game, and Tadpole might just go all the way himself. Doesn't quite get there, but Sellers backs him up.
And this is the level of teamwork you can expect. Look at Tad flipping all over the ball. Goats are so focused on the attempt from Tadpole. They didn't see Sellers coming, and if they did, they didn't have anything left in the tank to react to it. The goals are coming out thick and fast, with Sellers having a potential second break there. Onto the goal, the Goats are able to react just in time. They need something else here to even up the scoreline. Otherwise, they might fall further behind. Sellers had an opportunity to send it straight back into the net there, but just not quite on the right line.
Now, back in the blue territory, SEA Dragons having to play defensive for a little bit before Sellers is able to keep it going, and actually Duke's Fast. Not quite able to get past the second player though, and now Fast sends it back in towards the center. SEA Dragons dealing with that pressure well. Now Sellers takes it aerial, airborne, not quite able to get there. Fast instead through the sky, sending it so close off of the backboard, but not quite able to land anything. Now Zerg flying in for a chance, but it's not quite there.
There was Tad right on his tail. He wasn't really able to confirm it, but look at the cross from Fast. It's just a little bit high, but not at the beautiful angle. Not quite able to confirm it this time around, but the Goats are not going quiet into this good night. They are not leaving without a fight, even in the sky. Tad gains some control. Dash rises up to meet it, but it's going to get knocked back over. Ellis has control, but Sellers flies past and regains it. Fast still in the danger zone, but it's going to get met by 2 members of the SEA Dragons, and that'll bring it back to the Goats side of the pitch.
I mean, that was still a very dangerous chance there, but like you say, not able to get it done. Still Goats pushing forwards. Fast again, the one piling on the pressure, and sets it up for Zerg. Off the ceiling and down into the net. Beautiful work, and ties us up 2 apiece.
We see so many assist plays from Zerg, but in the terms of scoring, this player is normally relatively quiet. But let's not put that in the realms of discussion that he might not be skillful enough to get the goals himself. He absolutely is, and he might just find another one here. The setup is great. Zerg has another angle, but it's just a little too messy, and the Dragons are able to get back to it in time.
Oh, Fast very nearly bumping Tadpole away from that, and the ball into the net, but still Not able to get anything done. SEA Dragons able to reset themselves now. Boost available for them to use, and Tadpole sends it towards the goal. Ellis, a crucial interception there to just block that momentum, block the sightlines. Now Zerg firing forwards. This is electric, and Fast not quite able to get it. Bounces off the crossbar, and Zerg called into action to get the demolition on Sellers before it turns into a counter goal.
Feel like I'm watching a game of ping pong. The speed at which this ball is traveling from one side of the court to another. Zerg gets the better of the defender. Fast comes in to try and find the rebound, but it's not going to quite be there. Ellis intercepts SEA Dragons, and Fast puts it back on a favorable momentum. Dash is here to try and block it up, but Zerg is right behind them. There could be an interception from Fast, but he wasn't quite in position, and it's going to be Ellis to try and find something. 2-2 on the board, 30 seconds for either of these teams.
Tadpole pressing forward. Sellers not quite in the right position, but Dash is. Ellis gets that crucial block off the line, and now sending it forwards again. Fast, the player on the ball, but Dash is there to greet him. Now trying to go himself, but taken away. It's the final 15 seconds. Everything matters. We might be seeing another overtime as the shot comes in from Sellers. Fast is there and now taken out of action for these final few seconds. The board ticking down. Everything on the line. Sellers looking to try and go for this one final play, but we touch down and head into OT.
It's a smart move from Zerg. The ball is not in a great position for the Goats. They have to reset it. Overtime is the window into a reset, but it's not going to matter. Sellers gets us with a blitzing 5-second goal to take us through to match number 3.
And that is a brutal way to get taken out of things there if you're the Goats. But the SEA Dragons getting themselves that series lead, getting themselves that match point. And this is where we really start to see that mental game come into effect, Blazy. This is where Blazy's gone. He can't handle the pressure. And potentially the Goats might not be able to handle that pressure as well, because, I mean, that overtime was such a way to lose it.
So this is the interesting thing, right? We're in a position where even though historically Goats have crumbled under this kind of pressure, this team still played phenomenally in game number 3. Now they're on match point. One more loss will send them out of the bracket, but this is a team that is looking like they might be able to solidify their mental and bring themselves back into this. If Ellis can captain this squad through the hard times, I think there's definitely a way through the Dragons and into the finals.
Well, do we see a decider? Do we see a 3-1 finish? That's the question that is going to be answered here in game number 4. Tadpole immediately trying to brutalize this Goat side, but Zerg gets it away. Now the ball with Ellis looking to take it downfield. Sellers, a good interception and sends it clear.
Yeah, it's going to rotate here off the right-hand side. A little bit of a miss from Dash. Expecting Fast to knock it a bit wider than they ended up doing. Ellis in the sky now, knocked away by Sellers. Not able to confirm much more. Zerg gets a bit more position onto the ball, and it's knocked back. Only one defender here on the red side of the court. It will be Ellis. Fast has a touch to it, but it sends it a little bit too high. It might have gone in if it weren't for the intervention from Fast.
That was very, very close. And now SEA Dragons trying to put on the pressure themselves. But still, it feels like this is the most we've had a chance to breathe in this entire series so far. But SEA Dragons not really letting that opportunity go towards the Goats, continuing to send these shots in, continuing to send in these demos as well. It's brutal, it's tough if you're a Goats player to get that opportunity to reset yourself, but they're doing it well. Tadpole trying to send it in though, to try and send that disruption. It's going to get sent towards Sellers and he takes it away.
Tad in the sky, looking to find an angle here. It's going to have to be a setup. Sees too much heat on him for now. Sellers gets a touch, but the Goats are in the right position this time to take it away from them. Bit of a fake from Ellis. Will confirm the ball for now, but Sellers comes in right behind his teammate. Tad does get a break through the defenders, but yet again, it is too scrappy, and the ball gets taken away in what is, I mean, I can only describe it as ping pong. We're going so quickly back and forth between these two squads.
It's been such a scrappy series all the way through, and it continues to be that high-octane, fast action, demolitions absolutely everywhere. The SEA Dragons sending the ball in, now Fast has it for the Goats, but quickly dealt with. The possession is just going back and forth, momentum like a pendulum in this one. But now the Goats starting to find themselves with a little bit of a spell. Ellis sends it down, but no one there to greet it. Zerg tries you might, just can't quite get the connection. Now Tadpole dribbling, juking, met against two, and can't quite thread through them.
2 minutes left of the game. Over halfway through, not a single goal has been confirmed for either of these teams. The longer they play against one another, the more they learn how they like to play, the more they learn how they could potentially exploit their weaknesses. And at the moment, neither team wants to really heavily commit, but it's going to be the Goats to put the first on the board as they open and pose the challenge to the SEA Dragons. Are you going to confirm the win? Because we are ready to take you to Game 5.
From downtown, absolutely buckets it. And now SEA Dragons find themselves on the back foot. Ellis looking to try and get a second goal very quickly. Now Celis down the left-hand side, looking to go in. Dash gets there. And that's the reply from SEA Dragons. Yes, we do want to close this. Map 5, not an option they're prepared to consider.
And it's so often in these long, drawn-out games, the one goal that happens first to just reset the board and give the players new opportunities to find angles they wouldn't otherwise find. Sellers had an opportunity there, but taken away by Ellis, as Zerg now positioning further up the field, wants to find an opening. Fast in the sky, a demolition comes through. Sellers goes down, but there's no capitalization. Where was the rest of the squad?
Feels like a bit of a miscommunication there. Ellis left it for a teammate that just was not in that position. Now taking the initiative himself, trying to send it in, but it's just a little bit too snatched at. That chance going awry, and now SEA Dragons have the ball in their opponent's territory. Sent downfield, Zerg from long range to try and alleviate some of that pressure to provide a little bit of reprieve. But Ellis just sends it all the way through. Goats regain the lead.
There were two defenders there, but this ball goes in so fast, it barrels through both of them and makes it into the top right corner of the net. Just too much momentum to stop, and the Goats pull ahead. Another point, another expression of skill to bring them in to the rest of this series. 50 seconds on the clock. That's all they have to hold on to this lead for to bring this to game number 5. The SEA Dragons now, it is all or nothing time. They only have one more lifeline left if the Goats are able to secure more, but it's not on the cards this time.
Oh, a crucial interception. Now Sellers looking to go all the way. Tadpole sends in the shot, but it's off the bar. That could be a pivotal moment in this game number 4, as now Goats pressing forwards again. How much will that moment cost them? How much will SEA Dragons live to rue that day? Tadpole looking to go in again, not quite able to find it. Zerg off the line, and now into the final 10 seconds, where the Goats might just be able to hold on, and may even be looking to send it in style. Tadpole up in the air, has to do everything, sent downwards. Ellis looking to seal the deal. Zerg again, it's into some dead space, and that is going to be it. A decider is upon us. Game 5 between these two teams. What a battle this match has been.
The Dragons are devastated. 2 goals that should have every right to have gone in, but by miscommunication, not enough strength, the right place at the right time, somehow they were able to be denied. The Goats keep their claws, their hooves, their whatever you want to call them, planted in this match. Their hooves, then, are planted firmly in this series. They are not letting the Dragons take it away from them. They still have their rivals left in sight. They cannot lose as long as the Pit Ponies are going to be in that finals, and they will have an opportunity to redeem themselves. The SEA Dragons have to fight through that willpower.
I mean, SEA Dragons, the ball was what, like a millimeter away from
Half
going
an
all the
inch.
way over the line, and instead it just didn't come through for them. And again, those are the moments you're going to be thinking of, because now we head into that decider. Game 5. I mean, it really is do or die, all or nothing. Everything has to be put on the table here. You cannot leave anything behind. You have to get it all out on the field. And SEA Dragons will certainly be looking to do that. They're off to a pacey start, but doesn't quite come to anything.
Hold on, they put themselves in a bad position. They overcommitted, but it's going to be a miss. Zerg doesn't confirm the touch on the ball for what could have been the first goal of the series already. Now the SEA Dragons are able to respond a little bit. They get it back through, but Zerg does hit this touch here to clear it back through onto the blue side of the pitch. Dash comes through, tries to find a bit more position. It's going to be a back and forth now as these two teams try and find something in it. What is now a best-of-1 set. The only team that the team that wins this one match is the team that will move on to the finals.
It really does come down to that. And Tadpole, I think, has realized that fact. Sellers sends the ball in, but it's Zerg to greet it and send it away, still in towards that central area, right in front of the gaping goal mouth here for Goats, but SEA Dragons unable to convert as Fast sends it away again, but it's only to Tadpole. It's only a quarter of the length of the pitch. Goats still find themselves in such a difficult spot, and again, the goal is open, but SEA Dragons don't get the connection.
Unmitigated offense can only be met with unmitigated defense, but finally, after what seems to be like 8 different attempts in a minute and a half, the first goal is secured. The SEA Dragons put it away in the top left corner. Zerg did not have enough time to recharge his boost to make it to that high in the net. And now with a point lead, the SEA Dragons have Goats where they want them. All they need for them to do is to sit back on their laurels, but Ellis is not going to do that, and they come up with a speedy reply in 11 seconds.
I was about to start talking about how the Goats weren't really given a single opportunity in the opening of this game, but immediately they get that reply and take the goal again back onto even footing. It's where we spent most of our time, it feels like. And now Goats are pushing forwards themselves again after not being given an opportunity to really get any time on the ball. Now they're the ones on the front foot and still trying to get anything done here. Dash has the demolition, Sellers has the demolition. Dash sends it forwards. And a little bit of a chance to breathe, but not for long because Fast is herring in.
These two teams at this point have to be so tired. 5 games back-to-back, no reprieve. What could be some of the most competitive Rocket League any of them have played this far, at the very least this season. And now, hold on, not quite able to find the right touch against Tadpole. Zerg just on the back foot. Has to rely on Ellis, who does not get there in time, as the Dragons secure their second goal and put Goats yet again at risk of elimination.
Devastating way to concede there as well. It's going to feel like much more of a mistake from the Goats. They can't let that affect them, as Tad going in again, but not able to get that connection. Still, SEA Dragons going in again. Sellers taken out of action. Ellis sends the ball flying past the opening of the goal, but no one there to capitalize, as it was a 2v2 situation there for a time. Zerg now, what can you do? We've seen some perfect setup play from him. There's nothing doing in that regard. I mean, again, it feels like I'm watching a game of volleyball, just from one end to the other, constantly switching allegiances. And now the Goats starting to pile on the pressure themselves.
'Tis a fickle ball with no friends, no lords or masters. It serves only itself, and what it wants is the most spectacular game of Rocket League these two teams can possibly put on. With a minute 40 left on the clock, the Goats have to find one more goal to bring themselves back into this, because right now, if they keep up this pace, if they're not able to find a gap, this could be it for this squad. Not to put them out of it, though. If any team is going to be able to steal themselves and bring themselves back into this. It will be the Goats with Dash. Has an opportunity. Alice just about able to get to it in time, though. But they need to clear this ball away, or the Dragons will just try it again.
Yeah, now they do, with Tadpole immediately jumping in. Dash now sends one, goes ricochets off the ceiling. Now here's some aerial play from Farthurg, but maybe intercepts his own teammate there. It's a scramble to try and clear the ball here for SEA Dragons. But for the Goats, this is still looking good for them, looking clean. They still have to find the goal. It's no good just looking nice. You still have to get the connection on the end of things. Ellis looking to dribble it forwards, nothing doing. As we enter into the final 40 seconds of this game, of this series, potentially. It's squeaky bum time now for the Goats, as they still sit a goal behind.
It is so close. The Goats are screaming out for any opportunity, and they need to find it soon. 20 seconds to claw back to even standards and bring themselves to overtime, but the SCA Dragons don't want to let that happen. In fact, they might even put another one on the board. Tad centers it, but Zerg able to get the hero play. 10, 9, 8. Goats have to find something, and it's got to come in the last few seconds of play, but I don't think it's going to come in time, as the ball, desperately juggled by their teammates, cannot find purchase, and the SCA Dragons finally rise as the victors of this series.
I mean, I don't blame you. That was one hell of a match, Blazy, and the SEA Dragons scraped by, I think it's fair to say, but still, that's the winner's mentality, I suppose. They were able to get themselves the win here with, I mean, quite some...
It was tough.
Quite some theatrics in there. I mean, especially, what was it in the first game? Like 6-1, 6-2, something like that to the Goats. But so to even be able to come back from that is mighty impressive. But now that's a grand finals appearance from the SEA Dragons. It's where we know them the best, I think, is those grand finals. It's right at the top of the Welsh Esports League.
It is... I'm in two minds, Charlotte. On the one hand, the SCA Dragons get a chance to continue their reign, continue their legacy. On the other hand, Goats were so close to dethroning the legendary squad and meeting up potentially with the Pit Ponies in the finals for revenge for group stages. Unfortunately, their journey is going to get cut short here. Goats, they just needed to work on their consistency. They have shown us some incredible plays, some spectacular demonstrations of technical prowess, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. They weren't able to keep that energy up. Whereas the SEA Dragons, yeah, they may have dropped the game pretty hard at the beginning there, but they consistently were able to find these spaces, these opportunities, and they were just, I say just about, they were able to dig in there and through consistency win a long series, which is what you need in a long series. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, for the SEA Dragons, that's certainly the most we've seen them tested this split. We saw them, what was it? It was that 3-1 against Inquali, and then the rest of their games, apart from this one, have been 3-0. So
that's right.
A 3-2, certainly looking tight, but, you know, they get it done. So that's really all you can ask for, I suppose, really. They're going to be in the grand finals next week. But we still don't know their opponents, Blazy. That is going to be either the Pit Ponies or the Rejects, which is in the other semi-finals. So let's just have a quick chat about that one, because we will be seeing it on the stream later. I mean, this is the side of the bracket that we've not had any look at, but Pit Ponies are, I would assume, the favourites to head into that one with their 7-0 score in groups.
It's going to be tight. Yeah, I think the Rejects have played really, really solidly this season. Similar to, oh my goodness, their name has completely escaped me. Inquire, kind of similar situation. This is a team that has had some really strong performances, have really shown flashes of greatness. They haven't necessarily been able to stay consistently a threat to every team in the table, but they've definitely stayed a cut above the teams below them. On the other hand, Pit Ponies are the squad that made Goats look like randos in low-level ranked ELO last week. So, depending on whether or not the Ponies are bringing their A-game, how well the rejects are deciding to play into this is really going to impact a lot on the overall result of this series.
Yeah, just very quickly before we send to a break, Ponies or rejects, one word, who wins?
Ponies.
We'll see if he's right after this.
All right, mate, what's happening?
Assalamu alaikum.
Buongiorno.
The third and final match of the day is our other semi-final, as it turns out, between the Pit Ponies and the Rejects. Still Charlotte and BlazyBard with you, and we gave it a little bit of some preamble before we went to the break. Pit Ponies are the other sort of undefeated game in this team. No, undefeated team in this tournament. There we go. You can tell that the last series was a belter because we both lost our minds. Yeah, as it is, Pit Ponies are looking very, very strong. They're looking really, really nice right now. The Rejects are their opponent. Still not a team really to scoff at. Second in Group B with a 6-1 record, only losing to SEA Dragons. So again, if the last match is anything to go by, this one should be an absolute banger.
Yeah, this is a team that has kind of come out of nowhere, the Rejects. They've got a few players that people recognize, Cosmaniac to highlight the main one. And while they've definitely been strong, it's difficult, right? We looked at the other game, SEA Dragons, Goats. These two teams have almost been dynasties. They are... I mean, the SEA Dragons are a dynasty. The Goats, I don't think, are really too much behind them in terms of solidifying that reputation. Whereas the Rejects, they're incredibly new. This is a new squad. They've got some familiar faces, but for all intents and purposes, Charlotte, this is kind of an unknown factor. I could tell you going into the lower semifinal that these two teams were neck and neck. It's going to be the best series we're going to see all day. I could not tell you at a glance what this top semi is going to hold for us at all. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's fair to say. I think it would be remiss not to think that Pit Ponies were the favourites in this one, just because, again, of that undefeated record. They've won 8 matches without losing one so far in this tournament. And again, are really the one team that look like they can maybe put a candle to SEA Dragons right now, just based on the numbers. Whereas Rejects, like you say, are a bit more of that unknown quantity. So as we get underway, it is Rejects in the red, Pit Ponies in the blue. Another best of 5 first to 3 games to get us underway in the semi-finals. And immediately Rejects looking to pile on the pressure here. Pit Ponies potentially caught on the back foot, but they're able to clear the danger. Now Benji sending it forwards. Match just about clears.
Yeah, look at this. It's almost like a bait and switch. The Pit Ponies, they are hyper defensive for a moment. They bait the Rejects in and they turn it around on them. They go for this hyper aggression. And now that we're a little bit more into this match, I don't know that the Pit Ponies are going to slow down. This is a team that is very consistently aggressive, but has such a perfect balance of offense and defense that they are almost everywhere. In the last game, I was thinking to myself, Sella is everywhere in this match. I don't think I've seen a single frame where Sella wasn't there somewhere. The Pit Ponies all played like that.
Yeah, they are certainly a team to be excited about. That one's for certain. Finn, the one to get us back into the action match. Now with it aerial again, but just not really being allowed that space forwards, Rejects, as now they do come into some area of their own. Cosmaniac looking for it, but now Pit Ponies instantly flip the switch, start sending those bodies forwards, and now sending the shot on goal. Hodge denied by Finn.
Yeah, it's a good attempt there. It feels like the Pit Ponies are kind of sizing Rejects up. They're testing their defenses. They're seeing what they can get away with as we head into the 3rd minute of the map. Enough reconnaissance completed. Benji will put the first one on the board. And hey, it's the pi number. He scored at pi.
That's fun. I like pi. As a mathematician, I feel like I'm obligated to enjoy that. As we head back in, Bitson might have just got the better of everyone, but defenders coming through just in the nick of time. Now here comes Madge, sending it forwards. Benji always there, but oh no! It's gone off of, I think that might have been Hodge.
I think that's an own goal, yeah.
And into the back of the net. Did just enough, and yeah, Hodge trying to rush in to defend. Accidentally sends it flying in. We're tied up again, and that's a mistake to get Rejects back in the game and immediately looking to send it from this kickoff.
Hodge is going to have some explaining to do in the locker room. Clearly didn't think that Rejects had enough players, so decided to give them one for the road. Not that they maybe need it. Rejects, they're finding some decent opportunities here. The Pit Ponies have just got too much style. Bitson in mid-air catches the redirect from Benji in a move that looks straight out of a playbook.
I mean, Bitson was blitzing that one straight towards the goal. Again, no amount of defensive interception there, intervention will get that one away. Pit Ponies feeling maybe a little bit aggrieved of how they conceded. Yeah, like you say, immediately go ahead, and Cosmaniac also just taken out of things just for fun. Bit of mental warfare, and Pit Ponies looking to stamp their authority on this game as they keep pushing on forwards.
It does feel a little bit like they are stamping that authority, right? I'm not sure if you're getting this impression, Charlotte, but it feels like every time Rejects has the ball, it's because the Pit Ponies are kind of allowing them to have the ball. Every attempt is hard-earned. Every space is given, but Finty finds a gap. Ball not quite on the right line. It's going to be Bitson to take it over the board and through back. But the Rejects are able to find a decent opportunity here. Another one could be, but Cos not quite able to beat Benji in defense.
Rejects found themselves in a good spell of possession, starting to get to exercise what they can do, start to strut their stuff potentially. This match trying to dribble through pressure, doesn't quite get it there. But now Pit Ponies, they're starting to put a stop to that silliness. They're going, okay, no, we want control again. But Rejects have started to open the door. They've started to allow themselves to find that space, and there are more gaps appearing here in the Pit Ponies back line.
Essentially, yeah. Bitson looking to clear this one away, but Madge is there, looking to find it. Breaks through a defender, but it's going to be Hodge to finally stop that push. Cos centering the ball yet again, trying to find a bit more speed for the rest of his squad, but up high, Pit Ponies aren't letting that one go for free. Out of the sky yet again, but an answer without a question is a statement that doesn't make sense, but what does make sense is that the Pit Ponies find the hat trick.
Yeah, looking nice. Again, Bitson just gets himself into a really nice position, and Rejects overcommitting. The ball gets sent flying towards that goal, and no one's able to intercept it. It feels like almost a complete copy and paste of what we saw in that first goal, and immediately sending shots back towards that red backboard. Cos also taken out of the action. Benji sends it flying in, but it's off the corner of the bar and away.
Just a beautiful moment there. It's unfortunate that it didn't go in for them. Not that the Pit Ponies need the extra point, sitting 2 above Rejects right now with 20 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be difficult to impossible for the Rejects to bring this one back. If they had beaten Hodge there, it could have been something. But
the demo.
Cosmaniac decided, hey, you know what? Pit Ponies gave us a goal. Why don't I return the favor?
Yeah, tried to deny it, but there really was just no opportunity to get there. The ball was just too far ahead. As we head into these final 15 seconds, Rejects will kind of have to lick their wounds and look towards game number 2. So there's really now no chance of getting back into it. At the very least can find some kind of consolation, but Hodge denies that as well. 4-1 scoreline, potential for another goal to come in as the ball stays airborne for now. It's a solid win for Pit Ponies, and this game is really feeling like our first series of the day, that quarter-final between Goats and Nquarai, where these teams are playing each other close, but Pit Ponies just find that edge at the crucial moments.
Yeah, you're really seeing here is a well-bastioned, well-seasoned, tenured is the word that I was looking for, not bastion, but a well-tenured team really staking their claim. It's interesting to me how clean the Pit Ponies play. There's a lot of opportunities that you see teams take that almost feel... Say again?
Minus the own goal. We did.
Yeah, we'll ignore that. That's Hodge can answer for those crimes later. But with a lot of other teams, a lot of the opportunities they take feel like, oh, there's a chance, I'll go get it. With the Pit Ponies, it feels like they have plays that they want to make, and they will wait patiently until the opportunity to make that play arises.
And immediately looking to go for the play is Finty, actually, for the Rejects. Plucks it out of the sky and sends it barreling towards that goal mouth. Cosmaniac now sends a shot in, but nothing doing on this time around. Instead, the ball now finds its way on the other side of the field. And Madge deals with that danger too, starting to settle into a bit of a rhythm here, like we saw in the previous, where Pit Ponies just continuing to apply that pressure, get themselves shots on towards that Rejects goal, but there's a breakaway, a counter, and now Benji replying right back.
It's a bit of a back and forth here between these two squads, but the Pit Ponies, they have patience. Bitson sets it up, and there is a player there to receive, but it is rejected by their opponent's Hodge here in the sky. Tries to find an opening. Cosmaniac, a little bit gone. Hold on, they were expecting more, but Hodge knocks it out of the goal himself. What did I just witness?
He's a double agent for the second game in a row, but also, I mean, trying to just get some kind of touch to send it careening back into the goal. Doesn't quite find its way in. Bitson now the one to send it towards, but nothing doing. Cosmaniac trying to push on forwards. Now Finty sends in the shots. Rejects. This is potentially their best spell of possession so far in game number 2, but it's not quite amounting to anything just yet as the ball gets sent towards the other side. Hodge now the one with the control, but Madge starts to just really keep it in the hands, and Finty going aggressive again.
See, I was under the impression that the best spell of possession Rejects had is what made Hodge knock it into his own goal, but I think maybe you're right. This might be slightly better as they're able to keep control of the ball more consistently. Up into the sky, Madge finds an opening, but it's going to go back into Pit Pony control.
Wow.
And even with an attempt, Hodge keeps it on the hood and dribbles it down like a pro.
Yeah, a couple mistakes here and there from Hodge, but absolutely perfect in that moment to send the ball in. Bit of self-redemption maybe as well, so we'll start to feel better about how he's been playing. And now looking to really send things up and away. Bitson now with the ball and trying to send it through. But again, Rejects just about stemming the tide for now. Cosmaniac, the most recent player to get it, and it feels like Finty has always been dangerous, but Benji now sends in the shots and just about cleared off the line. Rejects stay alive.
The wall crawl was successful, and the Rejects are able to clear their own goal, even put some pressure onto the Pit Ponies, and Cosmaniac stops out the counter-aggression. Blitzen is here. Blitzen on Dasher. That's the last game on Benji on goal. A second one for the Pit Ponies, as Christmas apparently has come early.
This is when I start to worry a bit for the Rejects. It's not like the previous game where they found a reply almost immediately. Instead, now they fall 2 behind. And the question becomes, do they have what it takes to find their way back into this game? Again, I'm getting premonitions of that first match, between Goats and Nquarai, but enough dwelling on the past. We look to the future. What could happen in this one as Rejects still not out of it, still not playing like they have really anything to lose and just playing themselves forwards. Bitson gets a shot in, no. Pit Ponies still the ones really on the front foot. Benji sends it towards the goal, but just off the crossbar, a little bit wide. Now it's with Bitson.
Up it goes, good control in the sky, not quite able to find the right angle, but it's going to be Benji to try and find some more. Hodge can't get enough space on that aerial. And it's almost being kept away from the Pit Ponies here. Bitson finally lands a touch on it, but immediately taken away by Madge. Stolen yet again by the Ponies. Benji able to get a touch on that. And now it's Hodge to find a setup on the cross. Madge takes it back in, and it's almost like a feeding frenzy. The Pit Ponies are sharks, pit sharks, swimming around, taking the ball from the rejects constantly.
Oh, Hodge very nearly gets there. Benji as well. It's a scramble on the goal mouth, but one that doesn't come up goods for the Pit Ponies. Still, they're 2 goals ahead. It might not matter. But those are the moments that sometimes you'll be thinking about long after the game is done, particularly if rejects can come back into it. They're going to need to start finding goals soon, though, if they want that to be a possibility. Bitson not letting that happen anytime soon, trying to go alone. It's the demolition on Cosmaniac, which opens up the goal and gets it for Pit Ponies. That's 3 on the board. Perfect teammate play there coming in from Benji. And Bitson sends it in.
It's feeling rough for the rejects. It doesn't feel like they've quite got the synergy down, whereas the Pit Ponies, despite losing a goal there, still feel like they're firing pretty much on every single cylinder. We'll see what the rejects can do with these last 30 seconds, but it's taken the rejects, what, 3.5 minutes to find this first one?
4.5.
Not to rule it out. 4.5 minutes to find this first one. Not to rule it out. The rejects are going to have to really find a lot of strong opportunities to come back into this one.
It does feel like it partially comes down to luck now, which is never a good thing if that's what you're having to rely on. And the Pit Ponies, they're just potentially playing spoiler. I was just about to say, maybe just trying to keep it out of the hands of the rejects, but if you can just seal it with a goal, you might as well take that opportunity. Hodge nets a brace in this game, a second one for him. And now at 4-1, this one feels like it's out of reach. Pit Ponies looking to go 2-0 up in the series and be on map point again with that potential to sweep. As the 10-second timer starts, I mean, that was certainly quite close. But still, you feel like it would be a consolation goal if it were to go in for the rejects. The time has expired in the air. Cosmaniac looking to get something done, but it's just denied exactly like that. Pit Ponies do get themselves that 2-0 lead.
And it feels almost like a sleeping giant, doesn't it just? The Pit Ponies, they play so reserved, they play so quietly, but they have these explosive moments. And even though they are not necessarily being this oppressive, hyper-aggressive force like Goats or the SEA Dragons might, there's always that air of menace towards them that as soon as you mess up even a little bit, they will take full advantage of that gap.
They're looking to take advantage here as we head into Game 3, potentially the final game that we see today. Sent in bits and looking to open the scoring early, but Cosmaniac not letting that one happen. First 10 seconds have gone on by already. Rejects looking to... they're really under fire here and just want to clear some space for themselves to get some reprieve. They're just not being given that opportunity. Bitson sends it towards the goal, but it bounces off the crossbar and is cleared.
Cosmaniac now trying to find a bit more position. The rejects are throwing themselves at this ball, desperate to find something, and it will be Madge who finds the first goal and puts a little ray of hope into the bouquet of rejects.
That's certainly one way to do it, opening the scoring, looking to get something back on. Obviously, it's a reverse sweep required for the rejects, a mighty long road, but those longest of journeys do start with the first steps, and a goal is a great way to do it. You just can't let yourselves concede immediately, but that's exactly what happens. Look at this, it's tiki-taka play really from Pit Ponies. Bitson, Hodge, goal, brilliant stuff.
It's like I'm watching top-tier, classic, all-time Spain play the World Cup. Shout out to my favorite home team. Let's move on to the next attempt here straight away. Rejects trying to find something, but it's going to roll straight back to their side of the pitch. Hodge steals the control away again. Benji back at it to find a little bit more, and the Rejects are able to stem the bleeding for now. Back to even. 4 minutes left on the clock. What can Rejects do with this time?
I mean, again, this one feels like it is on a nice balance. Hodge just playing Disruptor now with an opportunity to head in, but not quite the boost to get there. Finty does a good job to get things away, and now Koz is the one with the ball. Hodge, though, not content, looking to try and take it, setting up for a teammate potentially, but again, Finty is the player that's there. Feels like he's having to do everything on the pitch at the minute. But it's an exhausting job, and one that Pit Ponies are looking to try and just wear them thin. Bitson, though, has to be called for some defensive duties here, as the Rejects now on the front foot. Koz sends it in, but isn't quite able to get there.
Up into the sky goes Hodge, stolen away by Koz at the very top. Match takes possession now. Benji tries to contest, but falls off, but it's unfortunately not going to be speedy enough. The rest of the Pit Ponies are able to turn around and reclaim possession, but it's smacked back. And the Rejects yet again in control of the ball with a good angle. Koz might have hit it in, but Hodge is standing bastion.
Oh, it's on a plate potentially for the Rejects, but no one's there to capitalize. So Pit Ponies get away with that one and start looking to find their own offensive. Finty in the air, Koz looking to take it, double tap off the backboards. But again, just not quite that final touch. Lacking that clinical finish really here for the Rejects. They've got another chance, another opportunity. It just whistles past Koz. And now Pit Ponies on the front foot again. Bitson, though, on an island isolated. The rest of his teammates looking to go for that defensive mile. Now Benji looking forward, looking to take it. Everyone looking for the ball and missing. As again, we go up, recycling the ball. Pit Ponies just not letting Rejects breathe with a chance here. Bitson sending it towards the goal. And finally getting that goal himself. Pit Ponies with the lead again.
It is so scrappy in here that the Pit Ponies fight tooth and nail, it seems, to get that goal. The Rejects not quite able to continue the fight long enough to hold them at bay. And now the small ray of hope that Rejects found in their sky is starting to close up.
Oh,
and
dear.
will ever dim with Hodge finding a third for the Pit Ponies.
It felt like Bitson maybe accidentally almost saved that potentially as well, but it gets in the end, and Pit Ponies won't care. They are absolutely bamboozling the Rejects right now. Looking to, again, stamp their authority on this one. They've by far and away been the better team, but that's not to say that Rejects haven't had their chances, haven't had their looks in, as Finty gets that shot and now gets the goal. With a minute 30 left on the clock, potentially there's something in this for the Rejects. They're still a goal behind, but they've got momentum. They need to find this game if they want to avoid that sweep.
Sparks of greatness flying from the axles of the Rejects. Can they kindle that into a flame of rebellion against the top-seeded team in the tournament? The opportunity is good. Madge not quite able to confirm. The Rejects now fighting hard. They need to find a little bit more. They can't just rely on one goal. They need to find at least two between here and potential overtime to keep themselves in this series. One loss will take them out of the tournament, and they are not happy with that, so they find a third.
I mean, it feels like the Rejects very much on the front foot now. Everything is coming up red. Pit Ponies now have to consider they look like they were cruising to that victory, cruising to that 3-0, but it's been 2 goals in quick succession, and Finty sending it forwards potentially for another. Hodge just about gets there. Cosmaniac, though, trying to pile on the pressure. Hodge, though, Gets it away. Now looking forwards again, Pit Ponies. They need to find that reply. They need to find something for the first time really in this series. Looking behind, Match very nearly gets there, but it's not quite. And now Rejects looking to take themselves. Cos getting taken out might just stall things for now, but with 30 seconds left, Rejects still are the ones to be applying the pressure. They're on the offensive most of the time here, Bard.
Can this pressure make diamonds? The Rejects certainly seem to hope so as they put 4 on the board. 20 seconds left for the Pit Ponies to find a reply. The Rejects cling to the game, tooth and claw. It's all gonna come down to this kickoff. Whether or not Pit Ponies can find some aggression, it's a slow one to start. Match finds the opportunity to push it further into blue territory. Denied the retreat by Cos. An angle could come through, beats the defender, but Benji comes through, and with 5 seconds left on the clock, the last attempt from Benji has to be successful, but it's knocked away, and the Rejects hold fast.
What a comeback! What a performance in this game from the Rejects! We are not done yet, Bud. We are not done yet. We have a game 4 on a hands for, what was it, a 3-1 lead that the Pit Ponies had, and it was very swiftly taken down. A 4-3 win for the Rejects and straight back into things. No rest for the weary. We go on, and Finty looking to get that early shot away. Not much power behind it. Trickles into the hands of Bitson, but now Cosmaniac trying to send a shot in. Rejects starting where they left off with so much agility and so much pressure being applied.
Something has come alive in this squad. Something has clicked. They realize they are on the precipice of exiting the tournament, and they have finally decided to enter the room. Now they just have to keep this up, and it is a long road for them. They have to play near flawlessly for 2 more games to beat the Pit Ponies, whereas the Pit Ponies just need 1 more to put themselves into that finals and face the SEA Dragons.
That's a good start for them. Benji up in the sky, sends it down, crashing towards the goal. And just does enough to sell the fake on that one. No defender's able to react in time. It feels like Pit Ponies, they've gone through that reset in just a few seconds it took to get into this new game. And the opening period of play that we saw, they've stabilized, they've found themselves in a good position, but they still can't let it slip. We know that Rejects have it in them to find these comebacks from 2-goal deficits even. And now they might just get that reply with Cosmaniac from downtown, so far away, but completely unbothered in his lane, flourishing, and ties up the scoreline.
Hodge does not have the speed to make it to the defense. And with a minute down on the clock, the Rejects are showing that, yeah, you might have got the first goal this time around. Wait, hold on. Benji finds an amazing start, and Match just barely able to make it back in time. The Rejects nearly lose all that ground they worked for, but just cling on to it by the skin of their teeth.
Goodness me, I clenched a little bit there. I'm going to be honest with you, Bard, as I feel like the Rejects probably did as well. Not quite able to get it across the line though, and now period of pressure, Pit Pony starting to really light things up as Bitson sends one in towards the goal. Nothing doing in that regard, but still it's inside of the red half, now making its way in towards the blue. Finty looking to go a little bit cheeky with it, dribbling towards the goal, not to be. Cosmaniac now, a little bit more of an aggressive look of things. But still, Pit Ponies, they've dealt with this, and they're now looking to go forwards themselves. Hodge can't quite get that touch, which could have sent it goalwards, but Bitson is back on the ball.
Over to the sky it goes. Finty has found so much magic so far this series. Can he continue to pull it back for his team? Cause on the heels, as the ball finds its way into orange territory, it could be managed to try and center it back away. It is successful, but Bitson is waiting for it and sends it back. Hodge pushes the agenda further, and Blitzen with a beautiful redirect from the sky will meteor the ball down and send Rejects careening back into a bad position.
I mean, Match very nearly got there. You can't fault the defensive effort, but just not quite enough to beat out that wonderful shot from Blitzen. Oh, goodness me, I need a chance to breathe after that one. Rejects will certainly be feeling like the same, but instead, they're the ones that are on the front foot here, looking to really go for this and not backing down. That's the sort of mentality that we want to see from this side, really, is to just get in their faces, not give Pit Ponies that chance to reset themselves, because that's where they're dangerous. But now they have a chance. Pit Ponies, Blitzen sends it forwards. Hodge keeps it in the air, but nothing doing. Benji still trying to play a little bit of disruption here as Hodge again combining to keep it out of their own goal, and Pit Ponies deal with that pressure. Now Finty, defensive duties called upon, as we've seen him be a very offensive player, very good in those attacking moments, but still putting in those shifts when required. Now Madge gets up there, but still for the Rejects, just not really able to chain anything together right now. Madge dealing with it. Finty has to go back for boost, and a little bit of a combining there. Now suddenly, danger abounding for the Rejects with Hodge going down though. Finty's got an open shot at goal, and it's sent in. Hodge respawns just in time to get the clearance.
It's serendipitous for Hodge, and all the Pit Ponies have to do is hold the line. 1 minute left. 1 minute stands between Pit Ponies and the grand finals. 1 minute stands between Rejects and an exit from this tournament. It's going to come down to Finn, Madge, and Cosmaniac to even the score and bring us to overtime. Finn's in the sky. It's going to be denied. Blitzen finds the angle, and Hodge now looking to re-offend back onto the blue side of the pitch. Something has to happen. 30 seconds left on the clock, and the Blues need something in their pockets right now, and it's going to be Blitzen with a third goal to extend the lead and snuff the dreams of the Rejects.
Surely that seals it now. Surely that is the grand final secured for the Pit Ponies. We've seen them lose a 3-1 lead in just the previous game, but not with 19 seconds on the clock. It was a few minutes that Rejects had to try and work that advantage. This time around, they've got to find that adaptation fast, and Blitzen just playing defensive, not letting Rejects get that control, not letting them find that opportunity. Finty tries to send it forwards, but with the time now expiring, that is going to be it. Grand finals waiting. The finals abound, and a chance at glory for the Pit Ponies. 3-1. They take the series and lock their spot in next week.
This is a squad that has been playing so well all season, Charlotte, and now they have finally made it to the grand finals, facing across the team that also went through their bracket completely undefeated. The SEA Dragons will be waiting in the grand finals for the Pit Ponies yet again for the second season in a row.
That they absolutely have. And I mean, let's face it, these two teams come in as the first seed and the second seed. It would be a big shock if we didn't see them in this grand finals together, but that is what we have found. Some crazy games we've had today, Bard, but like we say, it ends with that. We can see our two most recent ones on the screen just below us. Pit Ponies 3, Rejects 1. Obviously, we just saw that. And earlier on, SEA Dragons 3, Goats 2. And, I mean, our quarterfinal as well, if we want to look back that far, was Goats taking 3 and Inquiry getting no games there. It was a sweep, but it really didn't feel like it. I was about to say 1, but no. In fact, yeah, not to be the case. So Pit Ponies, SEA Dragons find themselves in that grand finals. It feels fated. I'm going to be honest. It definitely feels fated. It feels like this maybe should have been what we expect from these two sides. As it comes on out, though, I mean, what a result, and what a pair of matches that we are looking at next week. Let's not forget, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm about to be told that I'm incorrect here, we'll have both grand finals in the championship bracket and the premiership bracket as well. So both of those finals will be coming in. Obviously, Welsh Esports League points on the line for that for the club of the season, which is all very, very exciting. But I mean, we're drawing a close on this third week, out of 4 of World 10. I mean, where has this time gone, Bard?
Baby, it's so long. Where is the time we made for 2? You know, if Happy Ever Afters did exist, it would be this. And we get to, as a result of all that hard work, see 2 of the best teams in the league go up against each other in the finals. There's a part of me that cries out for the underdog story of GOATs making that run for the finals, but at the end of the day, the teams that deserved it have made their way through. And with that, it's the end of our show, I think, Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, both teams undefeated as well. That's a key thing to point out. One of those streaks will have to end, but that's going to be in next week's matches. We are done for today, like you say, Bard. Thank you very much for coming along this journey with me. Just a little peek behind the curtain for those of you at home. It's been a while since I've covered any Rocket League, but it was good to be on the mic with you, Bard. We've had Kashi on the observing and production as well, so very much a thank you to Kashi. Make sure you keep an eye on the Discord server, because Well 11 will be around before we know it. So if you're looking at this and thinking, how do I get involved, make sure you join the Discord. The link will be in the Twitch chat, I'm sure. And yeah, get yourself involved, get yourself active, and get yourself in the server. We have seen some incredible games today. More of that to come. So it's goodbye from me. I assume goodbye from Bard, unless you're feeling a little bit rude. But I imagine you seem like a pretty chill guy, so I imagine it's also goodbye from you, Bard. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching to those of you at home. And we'll see you next week for more Welsh Esports League action. My.